Hey y'all, welcome back to Southern Fried Felonies. This is going to be the second part of the series I'm doing on missing people in national parks and how they handle it. So this episode is going to be basically just about what the records are, how they do it, what happens from the very beginning to the very end. Picture this. You're in the middle of the Grand Canyon, taking in the majestic view, when your hiking buddy says, "Hey, I'm going to go check out that cliff edge," and then they don't come back. You think, no problem. The Park Service will send in the helicopters, dogs, maybe a Navy SEAL team, right? Well, if you're lucky, yeah. If you're unlucky, the response will involve a 23-year-old seasonal ranger with a radio that barely works, a search plan drawn on a coffee-stained napkin, and the unspoken hope that your friend just hitchhiked out to Vegas and isn't lying in a ravine 500 yards below the trail. Today we're going to explore how missing persons are officially handled in the National Park Service and how they're unofficially handled. You know, the version with the secret military units, shredded files, and maybe, just maybe, a few cryptids. Step 1, report intake. You give them name, clothing, last known point, planned route, experience level. If you sound calm, they may assume your missing friend is just taking a break. If you sound panicked, they might chalk it up to you being emotional and unreliable. Translation is, damned if you do, damned if you don't. And if you can't remember their shoe brand, forget it, you're now officially that friend who's bad at details or a murderer. Step 2, classification of urgency. High urgency. Small children, elderly, medical emergencies, dangerous conditions. Low urgency. Healthy adults in good weather. This is where the cover-up magic starts. Delaying the official search avoids statistics, bad press, and paperwork. Convenient. Healthy adult is code for, we'll start tomorrow after my lunch break. Step 3, hasty search. Quick sweep of the area, checking obvious spots, listening for shouts or whistles. If this area is known for unexplained disappearances, the sweep might be perfunctory, as if they don't want you to really look too close. It's like when you look for your lost keys by glancing at the table and just say, nope, not here, and sit back down. Next is the incident command system. The positions are incident commander, operations, planning, and logistics. It sounds like a crack military unit until you realize operations might just be one guy with a map from the visitor center gift shop. The person in charge, their real job is to control the media narrative. The missing hiker was well prepared magically becomes the missing hiker made poor choices. See the shift? Now, as far as the conspiracy layer goes, nothing is released without going through the Park Service. The FOA, which is the Freedom of Information Act, which anyone can ask for, they get lost. Or when you do get them, 90% of the page is blacked out. In certain cases, like Dennis Martin, military units have shown up, operated independently, and never reported their findings to the National Park Service. If you ask why, you'll get the polite government version of mind your business. Next comes the quiet fade out. After 72 hours, resources start winding down unless the new leads pop up. This is the part where the park says, we'll keep looking, but actually means we'll radio it in if we trip over them. Imagine calling 911 for a house fire and they say, we'll check back tomorrow unless the flames get bigger. In some high tourism areas, the south rim of the Grand Canyon National Park is huge. There's quiet pressure to end the searches quickly to avoid scaring off visitors, because come to the Grand Canyon where people vanish is not the billboard they want. Now we get to the missing file problem. The Freedom of Information Act roulette, basically. You request the search and rescue log, and what you get back is 40 pages of black rectangles and exempt under B7A. It's like ordering a pizza, but just getting the box, and they've already eaten all the pizza. No central public database of missing persons in the national parks exists. This is negligent and policy. So either way, it's not the way to do it. It makes it impossible to track patterns like clusters, repeat locations, or link between parks. Files sometimes disappear from archives, especially in older high-profile cases like Paul Fugate and Bessie and Glenn Hyde. Some cases that really make you wonder. Dennis Martin, he had Green Berets search off book and refused to bring NPS equipment and tactics not consistent with search and rescue. Some speculate they were hunting something dangerous. Paul Fugate, he was actually a Grand Canyon National Park law enforcement ranger, and he disappeared mid-shift. No clear motive, no body, reward still open. Rumors suggest internal park politics or he stumbled into something criminal. And then we have Bessie and Glenn Hyde. Newlyweds vanished on the honeymoon trip. The boat was found intact. Some say murder, others say they bailed intentionally. Still others, they met something unnatural. The gaps aren't just oversight, they're systemic. Every missing person means questions about safety, liability, and sometimes history that's inconvenient to acknowledge. If you were running a park and found a pattern of disappearances in one area, would you publish that? Or would you quietly stop issuing trail permits there? Wait for the story to fade and move on? Now, throw in the stories of rangers hearing voices in empty valleys, military showing up without explanation, gear found miles from logistical routes, and you get to see why some of us think the official story is just the opening paragraph. So, if you're listening to this while planning a park trip, here's the plan. Number 1, tell someone where you're going, not just hiking Yellowstone, because if you vanish, Yellowstone covers more square miles than Rhode Island. Be precise. Drop a GPS pin. Heck, tattoo the coordinates on your arm if you have to. Number 2, don't rely on the official search window, because sometimes by the time they get to looking for you, your sleeping bag will be in the museum labeled as historic artifact. Number 3, pack more than snacks, like maybe a flare gun, a personal locator beacon, or a good alibi for the last time anyone saw you. And remember, in the backcountry, the most dangerous thing isn't bears, snakes, or even the weather, it's bureaucracy, with a dash of plausible deniability, apparently. You think you're safe because you're in a national park. Well, that's cute. The NPS has maps that tourists never see, files that don't exist, and a knack for making search logs disappear faster than free beer at a campfire, or free beer in my refrigerator. I'm not saying they're covering things up to protect the park tourism revenue, but I am saying you never hear about missing people in the glossy brochures. So go ahead, enjoy your hike. Take in the scenery. But if a ranger tells you don't go past that ridge, the trail's closed, maybe listen. Or maybe that's exactly where the good stuff is. Either way, leave a breadcrumb trail, and not the kind squirrels can eat. So guys, we'll have one more part to this particular series. And that'll be next week. So please come back, tune in, and let's talk about it.